Hey, and welcome to the Destiny Global Facebook page. Welcome to 2022. My name is Carmen, and I am one of the trainers with Destiny Global. And tonight, we are here with one of our success tips live right here on the page. So while everybody's coming on, I would love for you to go down below in the comments and let me know, where are you watching from? Where are you tuning in from right now? I am here in Georgia, in my home office, and so freaking excited to talk to you tonight because in 2022, we just rounded out a brand new year. And one of the things that historically happens when we end a new year and we begin, when we end a year and we begin a new year, is there's this thing called resolutions. We make New Year's resolutions of things that we want to do. And a New Year's resolution is nothing more than a goal. It's a goal but it's like the important goal of the year, right? It's like the goal that we must accomplish this year. Unfortunately, most people have given up and given in on that New Year's resolution within a few short weeks. In fact, we're almost 3 weeks into 2022. I know some of you are like, dang it, she's right. I set a resolution and I have already forgot about it, given up on it, called it quits, whatever you want to call it. But tonight, we are going to talk about crushing your goals in 2022. We're going to talk about you becoming somebody who would be a doer instead of a dreamer. Somebody that would be an achiever versus a talker. Could you ever have those people, and maybe you've been one, I've certainly been one before, where you're one of those people that you are more of you talk the talk, but when it comes time to walk the walk, your walk's a little lacking. I have so been guilty of that before. But tonight, we're going to talk about 3 tips that you can do starting tonight to make sure that 2022 is not a year where you're just dreaming, but it becomes a year where you turn those dreams into your reality. And so 3 tips to help you crush your goals in 2022. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you actually ready to crush your goals this year? Some people, they have big goals, and I want to know, are you ready? Are you ready to crush your goals this year? Are you ready to actually turn your goals into your reality? If you are, make sure you stay to the entire end tonight, and let's go ahead and jump in. So number one, and this might seem kind of like, well, no kidding, Carmen, but hear me out. Number 1 is you must establish your goals for 2022, okay? Now, that's the main point. We're going to unpack this. We're going to talk about this, okay? Because here's what most people do when it comes to starting off the new year. We start off the new year, we're gung-ho, we're excited, we're like, yeah, this is going to be my year. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and oh wait, there's more. I'm going to do da-da-da-da-da-da. And what we typically start off with the clients that I coach and business people that I've worked with, what I see a lot is I see a lot of people with their hands in a lot of different things. I see people with, they have like 8 irons in the fire. They have 15 irons in the fire. Some of you just thought, that's it, 8? I got like 20 things I'm doing right now, Carmen. Well, that's fantastic. That's awesome. Actually, it's not awesome, because you know why? Most people get themselves involved in way too many things. And so they start the year with good intentions. They start the year with a lot of dreams. They start the year with a lot of goals. But then when the year ends, they don't have a lot of results. They haven't turned a lot of their dreams into reality. Isn't that the point of a goal? Is to actually achieve it versus just keeping it on the list year after year. Some of us have had things on our list for years. It's time to check that baby off. So here's what I'm going to tell you. When it comes to establishing your goal for 2022, I'm not talking about your list of 10 or 20 or 30 things that you're going to get done this year. I'm talking about the one 2 or 3 things you're going to do this year. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, you heard me right. The 1, the 2, or the 3 things that come heck or high water, you must get done. I'm talking about the few things that come heck or high water. You're going to end this year with them checked off of your list. But here's why most people won't do that. Do you know why? Because think about it. Think about it for a second. It doesn't, like, if someone's like, so, how's your year going? What are you working on? And you're like, oh, you know what? I'm working on this one thing. It doesn't make us feel good to say we're only working on one thing, or we're only working on 2 things, because we live in a world that actually gives a honor badge or a pat on the back or a whatever for busy. Busy has become the new, like, I'm busy. I'm doing all these things. I got my hands in all these different, I got all these irons in the fire. Because doesn't it make us feel more special and important to be able to say, yeah, I got this going on and that going on and da, 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 da. But listen, do you want to be somebody who starts a lot of things? Or do you want to be somebody who actually follows through and finishes? Because finishing the goals that you start, finishing the projects that you start, following through on those New Year's resolutions, that is where your life starts to change. That is where your dreams start to turn into reality. It's not how many things can I start. It's not how many things can I get involved in. For some of you, it is time to scale back. It is time to simplify. It's time to cut away. It's time to focus on the 1 or 2 things that you must accomplish this year. 1 or 2 things. Not 10, not 20, not 30, 1 or 2. And I get the fact that 1 or 2 doesn't sound amazing, but do you know what feels amazing? Actually getting to the end of the year and having accomplished something versus just a bunch of things started. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of that in just a moment. So, all right, number two. So number 1 is establish your goal for 2022. 1 to 3 things that are non-negotiable that you must accomplish in the new year, okay? Number 2, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. And if you guys have been around any of the Destiny Global training, you've probably heard that phrase because we say it, because it's true. But catchphrases are almost, they sound good on a meme on social media. It sounds good to say the catchy phrase. But what does the catchy phrase actually mean? Nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. And if we take that phrase and we apply it to your goals, and if we use it to talk about you crushing your goals in 2022, what does that look like? What is the phrase, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific? And I got some examples here that I want to walk you through. And I want to actually give you an example of what that means and how you're going to be able to apply it to your goals to help you do them instead of just dream them. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. I'm going to take a look at some of the top New Year's resolutions that people have. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is weight loss. One of the most common resolutions is I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to lose 10 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever it is. It is a very common resolution. It was one of mine for years and years and years. I would start a year and say, I'm going to lose weight this year. Okay. So if we take those and we're just going to make it, we're going to say, we're going to take the goal of I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year. Okay. If that was your goal, what most people do is they say, okay, I'm going to lose 100 pounds this week. I'm sorry. This year, if there's 100 pounds in a week, you're going to be rich because everybody's going to be studying you. So I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year. And then they start some diet. They start a gym workout. They start doing a bunch of stuff. But they have this big goal. They never stopped to take the big goal and break it down into what specific activity is going to get me to that goal. What specific What specific activity is going to actually, what do I need to do to accomplish the goal? Okay, so let's break it down. If my goal is to lose 100 pounds inside of 1 year, okay? And I take 100 and I divide it by 12. That means I need to lose 8.3 pounds per month. Well, if I divide that by 4.3, which is how many weeks are in a year, or how many weeks are in a month, 4.3 months, I need to be losing on average 1.9 pounds per week. If I divide that by 7, that means 0.27 pounds every day. See, that's taking a big goal and breaking it down to specifics. That tells me if I want to lose 100 pounds, I divide that by 52 weeks in a year, I need to lose 1.9 pounds per week. Because for some of us, if we say I want to lose 100 pounds in a year, that sounds like Mount Everest. That sounds huge. It sounds insurmountable. It can seem defeating to even think about it. But when you reduce it to the ridiculous and you break it down into small bite-sized pieces, because how do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. And so to hit my goal, I need to lose 1.92 pounds a week. See, when you reduce it down, it's like, oh, okay, I can do that. So let's take a look at another one, all right? So let's just say you have a goal this year to travel. You want to travel more this year, okay? Well, nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Do you want to go, how many times do you want to go camping? Once? Twice? Do you want to go once in the spring, once in the fall? For how many days? Do you want to go to Europe? Do you want to go to Aunt Jean's in Wyoming and go on the ranch and ride horses? What do you want to do? For how many days? Because nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. So let me give you an example. About a month ago, we've been doing this now for 5 or 6 years. My family does this, and we break down every week inside of the year. Because prior to that, what would happen was the year would come and we'd say, we want to travel more. We want to go camping. We want to make sure we go see my family. We want to make sure we see our husband's family. My husband and I want to make sure we're getting away to spend time by ourselves and sow into our marriage. We want to do different things with our kids. And we would talk about them. We would dream about it, but we would never do it. We would never do it. The end of the year would come and we'd be like, dang it. We didn't go camping. We didn't go away. My husband and I didn't go away together. We would have a bunch of things that we didn't do. And so what we started doing at the beginning of every year is we actually started making it specific. We want to go camping twice. So at the beginning of the year, before the year even starts, if that's a goal for the year, we get it booked on the calendar. We're going to go see my husband's family 3 times. We get it booked. We make the plan. We get it on the calendar. My husband and I, we're going to go away here. We're going to go away 3 times. So we get it planned. We get it on the calendar. And so what happens is we start to take a goal and we start to look at the specifics of the goal. And we start to plan out the goal. We start to take steps towards the goal. Okay? Because nothing becomes dynamic until it becomes specific. Some trips, it might cost money. How much money does it cost? How much money do you need to go? When do you have to have it paid for? If you're going to take a trip in September and you got to have it paid for by June and it's a $5,000 trip, $5,000 in 6 months, that means you need $833 savings a month. And when you start breaking it down to the specifics, what it's going to tell you is either, yes, I can do this, or no, I can't. Let's just say I'm strapped for cash and I'm broke as a joke and I need $5,000 to go to Italy and I ain't got no extra money. And all of a sudden I'm supposed to come up with $833 a month to go to Italy. Well, either I need to change the goal or I need to figure out a way to bring in an extra $833. Because if I don't find a way, the goal's not going to happen. Does that make sense? All right, let's take a look at another one. I'm going to pay off debt. Let's just say you have a goal. That's another amazing goal for the year, is to pay off debt, pay down your debt, get rid of that monkey on your back. If you want to pay off $20,000 in debt this year, I'm punching on my calculator, that means you're paying off $1,666 per month. If you break down $20,000 per week, that's $384 a week and 61 cents that you're paying in debt. $384. And this is a huge step that most people miss. Most of you actually do number one. Most of you actually establish a goal. The problem with most of us on number one is we establish too many goals. But most people never, ever, 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 ever do number two. They never actually look at what is it going to take to hit this goal. What are the specific things that I need to do on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis to make sure that I hit the goal, I do the goal, instead of just dreaming about the goal, okay? Now, let's just say you're either starting a business, you have a goal to start a business, or you have a goal to grow your business. Let's just say you want to grow your business to a six-figure income. Well, a six-figure income, if you take $100,000 and you divide by 12, that means you need to be making $8,300 a month. If you take $100,000 divided by 52, which is how many weeks are in a year, that's $1,923 that you need to be bringing in every week if your goal is to hit a six-figure income. If you break that down per day, that's $274 you need to make a day to make $100,000 in a year. And so it's breaking it down literally. Again, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's breaking it down to the daily activity, the weekly activity, the monthly activity you need to do to make sure you're hitting that goal. I know some of you guys are like, wow, I've never thought about this. Some of you guys are like, that sounds like a lot of work, Carmen. No, it's just a habit. It's just a habit. Because once you get in the habit, when I first heard that too, I was like, breaking it down, especially when I didn't know where to start and, I had never done it before, it did seem a little intimidating. But once that's only because I wasn't in the habit of actually hitting my freaking goals. I was in the habit of talking about my goals, but I wasn't in a habit of doing the actions it takes to hit goals. If you take a look at any Fortune 500 company, any successful company, one of the things they do is they have a big goal for the year, okay? A big successful company has a goal of how much revenue they want to produce in the year, how many customers they want to have, how many new customers they want to have. Some companies have a goal of how much they want to give per year, okay? Companies have goals. And then they break it down to what do we need to do per month. They do the exact thing that I'm telling you. The most successful people on the planet do step number 2. I went from a weight loss failure, morbidly obese, 288 pounds, a size 22 down to a size 2 in 13 months by doing number 2. By breaking it down to what do I need to lose each month? What do I need to lose each week? What do I need to be losing? What do I need to be? And then the next one we're going to talk about. So that's number 2. All right. Number 3 is recognizing the actions, recognizing or identifying the actions that line up with your goals. So there is what we call success activity, success actions, okay? And so I'll give you some examples of this. Let's go back to our first example. If I wanted to lose weight, well, some actions that would line up with my goal would be meal planning, right? Like actually planning out what I'm going to eat. For me, it was working out, moving my body 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week. What other actions line up with losing weight? Buying vegetables. buying vegetables, tracking everything that goes in my mouth, weighing myself to see my progress. Okay, let's look at the numbers. Travel. What actions do I need to do to make sure my travel happens? Maybe I need to get a passport. Maybe I need to buy a tent. Whatever it is. So you want to identify what actions actually line up with your goal, okay? The second thing under number 3, what skill do I need? What skill do I need to make sure I hit my goal? So I'll give you so let's go back to the first one, losing weight. 8 years ago when I decided to lose weight, I didn't have the skill to lose weight. How did I know? Because I was a weight loss failure. I had tried for a decade to lose weight and never happened. I'd lose a little bit and then gain it back. I'd lose a little bit and then gain it back. So I had to go gain the skill to be able to lose the weight and then keep it off. If I have a goal of making a 6-figure income, and right now I'm only making $50,000 a year, chances are I lack some skill. I lack some skills that are going to help me grow my income. Listen, the only thing that separates you from where you're at and where you want to go in 99.9% of the cases is a skill or 2 or 3. And that's what I love even about the Destiny Global company, the Destiny Global Facebook page. This coming weekend, in just a couple days, we have an event coming up called First Steps to Success. This event has been around for 30 years, equipping people with skills on how to communicate better, skills on how to grow their income, pay off all their debt, including their mortgage, skills on prospecting new customers and clients, skills on becoming the #1 recommended person at what you do, skills on when you actually talk to that new client, how to close them, how to cultivate and build a team of people that want to follow you, how to become the most magnetic person in the room. Things like that are going to be being taught this weekend at First Steps to Success. And chances are, if you want to make a 6-figure income and you're not, you're missing one of those skills or a couple of them. And that's okay. Skill, you can go get skill. We can all increase our skill. And so there are still some tickets. We'll make sure to put the link down below in the comments for that, where you can go grab your seat to make sure that you don't leave your success to chance this year. And you're actually one of the hundreds of people that's going to be joining us virtually for that First Steps to Success. But if you lack skill, don't be one of those people that just sits there and goes, I don't know how. Carmen, I don't know how to lose weight. I don't know how to make a 6-figure income. I don't know how to get more time in my schedule. I just don't have enough time to travel. I don't know how to pay off my debt because I don't have enough money. Listen, we have clients every single month that pay off debt and they didn't increase their income. Because again, it's a skill issue. So don't be one of those people that chooses to stay stuck. Make sure you are equipped, especially in a time that we are in right now. We are in uncertain times, but there are people rising up out of an ash heap. There are people rising up from nothing, going to something right now. There are going to be rags to riches stories this year. We are going to have clients that completely change the trajectory, the direction of their business, their family, their health, their finances. Don't let a lack of skill keep you stuck where you're at. Get your freaking ticket. Make sure you are joining us this weekend, me, Jackie, and Ken, to make sure you actually accomplish your goals this year. Okay? All right, so let's keep going on number 3. So you're gonna actually figure out what actions line up with your goals. You're gonna figure out what skill you need to get. And then hear me on this one. This one is ginormous. This one's huge. then you're going to actually go look at what activities and habits do you currently have that are keeping you stuck? What activities and habits do you currently have that have caused you to fail in the past? Because if your goal is to lose weight this year, you've got some habits that have kept you fluffy. You've got some habits that have caused you to be fluffy. You've got some habits that have caused you to be frustrated, right? And so it's recognizing, so for instance, eating at night in front of the TV caused me to stay fluffy. Going to the grocery store hungry caused me to stay fluffy. Never working out and moving my body caused me to stay fluffy. Emotional eating, having junk food in my house. I was like the champ of emotional eating. I ate when I was sad and when I was happy. It all got celebrated or drowned out with food. So when I wanted to lose weight, it was recognizing, what habits do I have that have kept me on this roller coaster of weight loss? If I want to travel and I'm not traveling, what habits do I have? What am I doing that's going to keep me from doing that? So for us, it was a lack of planning. For us, it was, just not scheduling it and putting it on the calendar. And time and money are very similar. If you don't tell them where to go, they will disappear from you. If you have a goal to earn a six-figure income, what habits do you currently have that are keeping you from doing that? Maybe it's you get distracted. Maybe it's you procrastinate. Maybe it's you start off the week slow and then you're playing catch up. Maybe you have a fear of failure. Maybe, whatever it is, maybe you need to get better at closing or prospecting or, advertising, or maybe whatever it is, but it's looking at, maybe it's I'm scrolling Facebook for a couple hours a day instead of working. That's a real freaking thing. Gosh, I just had a client a couple weeks ago. She was like, I don't have time. And I said, pull out your phone. How many hours did you spend on Facebook and Instagram last week? 2 hours and 40 minutes? Don't tell me you don't have the freaking time. We all waste time. And so it's figuring out, where are those places that are keeping us stuck? What are the places that are causing us to chase our tail? What are the places that are causing us year after year to be dreamers instead of doers? To be talkers instead of achievers? And when you do those three things, you go figure out, what are your couple things that you must do this year? You start making them specific. You start recognizing the skill you need, the actions you need to do to achieve those goals, and then what has currently been stopping you? What actions and what habits need to go in this year? You start doing that, I'm telling you, this year is going to be your best year yet. This year is going to be the year that you stop being a dreamer and you start being a doer. You're going to look back 1 year from now and you're going to remember this moment. As you look back and you're like, wow, I got this done and I accomplished this. I lost those 100 pounds. We went on our dream trip to Italy. My business made a six-figure income for the first time ever. And then you're going to have all that momentum going into the next year. And so I want to know down below in the comments, what are some of your goals this year? What are some of the things that you must do, that you must accomplish in 2022? I want to know. Tell me what they are. And for those of you that are serious about those goals, I know that I'm going to see you this coming weekend at First Steps to Success. We're going to spend 2.5 days together getting rid of some of those bad habits and putting in place the skills and the habits that you need to rise above what's going on in the economy, to rise above the competition, to rise above your past failures and the things that have caused you to stay stuck for months, years, or some of us, decades. And so thank you so much for joining us tonight. We do have lots of information here on the Destiny Global Facebook page that is free. We have success tips that come at you live every couple weeks. Every Thursday, we have coffee with the CEO of Destiny Global, Mr. Ken Brown. And so make sure you have liked the page. Make sure you're staying tuned, because this year you have a choice of your life staying the same or becoming the person and doing the things that you say you want to do. Going out there and living your destiny and living your dreams that have been planted inside of you for such a time as this. And so Happy New Year. I cannot wait to work with you this year, helping you cross your goals, get over the past, and start living the life that you were meant for. And so have a great night. I will see you soon.